There are 2,700 registered fisherfolks in Belize, but the fishing sector provides jobs for more than 15,000 Belizeans and accounts for about 3% of the country's GDP. But oftentimes, the contributions of the fishermen and women are overlooked. So for the past 4 years, the Wildlife Conservation Society and its local and regional partners dedicate the month of June as Fisherfolk Month.
It's basically in recognition of fishers and the contribution that they provide to Belize society and economy. If you notice, the theme for this year's event is working towards zero hunger with sustainable small-scale fisheries. And that just highlights the fact that fishing and the fisheries sector is important to Belize's economy or society. I mean, especially to our local coastal communities. It constitutes a large portion of the diet of what people consume. And, eradicating hunger, eradicating poverty are all sustainable development goals that as a country we should be working towards.
I think more professions should be celebrated, and I'm glad to hear that the fisherfolk are doing it for another time. And I think people in the tourism industry appreciate different groups of people who contribute to the tourism industry, including fishing for fish products.
But while the month celebrates the fisherfolks, it also brings into sharp focus the challenges in the sector, from overfishing to enforcement and resource concerns.
This year, conch season was a bit low, and that is one issue that they express. It is hoped that management tools such as manage access and your existing no-take zones would work towards addressing those issues. But fundamental to those issues is that you need to have enforcement in place. You can have all of these management tools, but you need enforcement in place, and that requires resources, financial resources and human resources, obviously. So that is one of the core issues when it comes to ensuring that these management tools provide benefits to people. You need to have that enforcement in place so that you can identify that these things are working, and this is what I'm reaping as a result of abiding by these regulations.
Do we still have the monitoring in terms of like the drones and those kinds of things being used? We know we always have stories of people who are caught with undersized conch, undersized lobsters, things like that.
Well, what we found out is, we tested or piloted the use of some of those things, but the type that we really need for this type of environment are very costly. So the approach we are using is basically surface water patrols, going out there in a vessel and patrolling the area, again, which boils down to the fact that you need money for fuel and for people out there. So that is the type of enforcement that we're using. I mean, we see its effectiveness in certain areas, especially where you have your co-managers present, and especially in the central region of Belize where the Fisheries Department, CCU, that capture fisheries unit is in place.
There are always challenges, and it's growing to a certain extent and decreasing at a certain extent. I notice we are now importing fish fillet, and at one time we would never believe that would have ever happened.
The month-long celebration kicked off today with its official launch at the Memorial Park. Partner agencies shared information in interactive displays. Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.